Adrian. Really good getting out on the course this evening. Obviously, I think as I said, if we'd had that little chat before we went out, we could have potentially seen much different ball striking, but I think it's worth experimenting slightly with the different feelings just to make sure we get the one that's the most comfortable and obviously produces the best results. So we're working on making sure we're getting the centre of gravity slightly in front of the ball as we're striking it. So I'll just put a line there on the sternum as a reference point. So having a look from down the line as well, the plane line is fantastic, so hitting really nicely from underneath the plane. You can see here we've got much more width than we've had previously. I'll just do the other one as well. So you can see you're tracking much more on the plane line. On the way back it's much more in front of you, and then you're dropping it out behind you. So you can see actually pretty nice position. The club face is closed, so this is the point I was trying to make. The phone, the kind of selfie thing is really going to help in terms of that club face position. But you can see there's much less wandering across the line up at the top of the backswing. Have a look at the right forearm position, much better, which is great. On the way down, slight dipping, but of course if we watch from face on, it's also a lateral motion, so you can see you're getting into a much better position, but in actual fact you're delivering it with too much forward shaft lean. And we know that there's a closed club face as well in there, which is going to essentially, if you were to release, then you're just going to smother the shot to the left. So of course, can you see the chest isn't particularly open and you're not really swinging left because that club face is so shut. So that's why you were getting a lot of those poor strikes on the golf course. So I think if you really stick to the selfie position up at the top of the swing, and then try and, as you said, you're kind of looking in front of the ball. Just by looking in front of the ball, it feels like it's dragging the sternum into the correct position. So we don't necessarily have to try and force the sternum to go in there. The body will tend to follow the eyes, and certainly by the sound of the practice session you had last night, that will be enough. But certainly in terms of that top of the backswing position, looks much better from where I'm standing. You can see, look at the right forearm there, nice and vertical, as opposed to coming back in towards you. Good hip rotation, and as you start the downswing, it's gets closer to plane much quicker. So you're nicely underneath that plane, and of course you're in position, as long as the club face is neutral, to turn through with the body, as opposed to trying to hold it off and kind of cover drive it too much. So yeah, good progress. Obviously try and keep an eye on the chipping, with regards to making sure that you imagine that pressure point is kind of on your forehead. Make sure that you, and depending on lie, you can play around with the ball position a little bit as well. But yes, I feel like you'll go out and have a decent knock tomorrow. So yeah, let me know how it goes.